some big mistakes you will probably make in your life. A lot of character development comes from these, so they're not all bad, but they're not great. If you haven't already done one or all of these things, you probably will soon. Being psychotically obsessed with someone for no reason. Like so obsessed to the point where it's like a defining factor in your life and all your friends will always just remember how disgustingly obsessed you were with that person. Embarrassing. Surrounding yourself with people who don't respect you. Can't really blame y'all because it does just come from like insecurity and like being afraid to be alone. But once you gain the confidence and self-love, you're gonna look back and be like, holy fuck, why did I let myself go through all that? You deserve better. Value your time. Being really stupid with your money. We're all young, dumb, and broke and really stupid, and none of us save properly. But the older you get, the more you're gonna be like, man, I was so dumb. Why didn't I save? You don't need to eat out every night. You don't. Learn to cook.
It used to be a time that fairy tales were true. The king and the queen and all the pills were blue. But then the pill changed, the red pill's the truth. Forget the married life, I got better things to do. Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and go ahead and hit the notifications button right now so you can get my videos as soon as I post them. Next, I will not be talking about all women, even though it feels like it. And if any women out there feel like I am talking to you, then you're the percentage of women that can relate to the woman in this video, which means you need to check yourself.
Nigga, what?
All right, and if you're looking for the music to the intro and you want the link to the second channel, both are below in the descriptions. All right, today I'm going to be talking about the biggest mistakes that women are making that they will live to regret. All right, you don't believe me? Go ask an older woman. Older women can always look back at the younger women and see what the younger women are doing wrong. But you want to know what the older women don't do? The older women never correct the younger women. Why? Because they never want younger women to be doing better than them, right? That's what's wrong with most of these women now. It's because women that were older than them haven't taught them how to be ladies. They became competitors. So once they become competitors with each other, then they never give each other steel to sharpen steel. That's something that men do. Men get together and make steel sharpen steel. But when it comes to women, they always have a competitive nature with each other. And in the process of having this competitive nature, they're making mistakes with men. And that's what we're about to break down today. Let's get to it. First, women are overvaluing themselves, which is the biggest mistake that a woman could do. Most women are doing this as a confidence booster to themselves by adding on value. But just as her delusion will come back to haunt her, it is bad on the men's part too, because men are the reasons why she's delusional and why she overvalues herself. Why do she live to instant regret this? It's because by the time a woman comes down off of cloud nine, comes down off her high horse, and she starts to humble herself, a woman is only humbling herself because her options are starting to shrink. So when she actually comes down to the value that she's supposed to be at, she's left with the bottom feeders of men, which means that she's left with simps that can do absolutely nothing for her. And these are the type of guys that's going to be able to do two things. For one, they're going to be able to be a servant to at least make her feel like a celebrity so she could turn around and treat them like a fan. But the bad part about it is women grab these guys up whenever they have hit the wall, whenever they do humble themselves, but they cheat faster because it's never the guy that they wanted. Because in their delusional world, they're still supposed to be with a guy that's greater. You have to realize women nowadays think that they can actually start a family at the age of 45 due to the fact that they're overvaluing themselves in their 20s and 30s, and then when they turn 45, the only thing that's left to marry is their cat and cat food. Next, women show too much masculine energy. All right, too much masculine energy. That is the biggest turnoff to a man that women have failed to realize yet. Women still think having an attitude is cute. Acting like you could compete with a man is cute. That stuff is not cute at all. See, what guys have to understand is women want to be feminine. It's just that they're brainwashed into being tough. When you start seeing women wear like red lipstick and start getting eyelashes and wigs, now we look at it like, oh man, like why they gotta do that? They look pretty already. You gotta realize they do that to look more like a woman because they feel so masculine inside. Whenever you start seeing women wear bright red lipstick that you know are tough, it's because they've lost how to feel feminine. So they're trying their hardest to look feminine. All right. So the harder they're trying to actually look like a woman who is sexy, the more masculine they feel inside. The downfall with a woman's masculinity, if one, it sends bad signals to a man, but only to a real man. To the simp beta male, he's actually turned on by the masculinity, which is why he turns into her little servant and ends up getting used in the long run. But why do she instant regrets it? Because she gets to the point of her life where she gets sick of being in relationships with simp men that she's been running all the way through, but she's not woman enough or feminine enough to get a real man that she's going to respect. And she will go the rest of her life regretting that in itself. Next, women just don't understand men. This is going to be something that they really regret, is that they never took the time out to understand men. Women think that them and men look at life through the same lens. We don't. What's attractive to a man is not attractive to a woman, but a woman tries to debate and tries to pretty much force a man to like her in ways that men do not like them. That is going to be the biggest downfall to a woman, because they get most of their confidence going after guys who cannot control themselves and using guys who cannot control their desires. But once she plays out of those guys, she won't have the knowledge to actually go and get a real man, because she's been practicing with the wrong type of guys. So she's not going to have an understanding to men at all. And if she doesn't have a father in her life at all, she will be single for the rest of her life. You have to understand this. If a woman has not been taught how to be a wife and have not had an example of a father figure in her life, she won't be able to pair bond at all, which means that she don't have an understanding of men. Women that can get in a marriage and make a marriage last is a woman who has a full understanding of a man and knows how to adjust herself to keep the relationship working. You don't believe me? Go ask a woman that's been married for 10 plus years, or a woman that's been married for 30 plus years. They're all going to tell you they have to know when to talk and they have to know when to be quiet. When you don't understand a man, she's just going to become very combative. Next, women try to change men into the guy that they want him to be. See, women want a guy who has leadership, but at the end of the day, she really wants a man that she fears. She wants a man that's tougher than her, because if she's with a man that she fears, it makes her feel protected. Now, the downfall about this is that women also don't want to get hurt. So they end up getting in relationships with super duper nice guy beta males. And that's cool to boost up her self-esteem. But at some point throughout that relationship, she becomes very troubled with this guy. She becomes very combative with this guy, because now she wants this guy to be a full-blown alpha male. She wants him to be more aggressive than what he's used to giving her. It's because she says, all right, now you've given me my confidence. Now I really need the masculinity in you. Now I want you to act like a thug. So she does more things to make the guy mad, to emulate the type of guy that she really wants. So a lot of you guys that were in relationships, right? You realize that at some point in the relationship, this woman flipped and all of a sudden wanted to argue and fight all the time. And whenever you got loud and started acting like you was ready to lead a relationship, it turned her on and she liked it. That's where women are making their biggest mistakes. And this is why they're going to instantly regret this. It's because she doesn't know what it's like to be with that type of guy. And she's trying to force a guy that she has completely manipulated into being him. And that's another form of delusion. Women are always living emotionally. you have to realize, right, with me having this channel, with me learning all my knowledge about women from my mom still asks me when I'm gonna get married. And I say, Mom, when's the last time you looked at my channel and think about what you taught me about women? But it shows that women always, at the end of the day, live life off emotions and a fairy tale. Next, women don't appreciate what men do for them. Because when men start doing nice things for women, buying her flowers or trying to impress her, it's because he sees her as a wife in the future, which is a compliment. But women nowadays have so many guys that are trying to impress them and do the same thing that they really don't have time to sit back and appreciate each man for being nice, because they know each man is going to want results from that. All right? Whatever the average guy out there can think of doing to a woman in order to impress her, it's 100 other guys out there that's going to do the same thing. Now, why would a woman regret this in the future? It's because she's going to become appreciative to anything, which means she's going to always nag and complain because she's going to always feel like she could do better. This is going to lead to her being single a lot more because she's going to convince herself that no man is good enough for her. And every man that comes in her life is going to feel like there's not much that he could do for her either. It's just that she'll continue to do this as she gets older, and she'll wake up when she's in her 50s single and alone. See, when women don't learn how to appreciate the niceness of a man, then they don't know how to humble themselves. They just keep chasing the higher levels in life. Like Kevin Samuel said, all the women with the PhDs end up on the top floor by themselves, while all the average women actually get married. And if you stop and you look at life and you look at families everywhere you go, that's what you see. You see ugly people in a relationship. You see fat people in a relationship. You see basic people in a relationship living out the life that most of you want, but you feel like you gotta be good looking, you gotta be rich, and you gotta be perfect in order to be happy. Women feel the same way, but it's hard for them to appreciate anything that a man does when they have any man that's willing to do anything for her. Next, and this is going to be one of the biggest, they create more drama than memories. All right, memories with a woman is something that you're used to doing that you guys smile about, or something that you guys did and you learned something for the first time. You know what I'm saying? It bonds you guys together. Those are memories, is that when you think about them, they make you feel good about that moment that you were in. Women don't do that. Women are coming with so much drama nowadays. You're just leaving relationships scarred and traumatized. You're psychologically traumatized from all the drama that she gives you because she's living out a fake fairy tale inside of her head. And I say this all the time. Like Drake said, women are living life like they're trying to write a book after. You just got to keep it straight for your chapter, but you shouldn't even be trying to be in the book at all. And that's what women are doing. They're living a soap opera life, and it's filled with nothing but drama, the same way you see in these reality shows, and they're not leaving memories. 9 times out of 10, when men get done with a relationship with a woman, he's exhausted, and the woman is ready to move on to a whole nother fairy tale. This is Anthony Spade. Hopefully you guys are able to get the message behind the video. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Hasta la vista.